What's up guys, it's Neil and welcome to this week's video. This week I'm going to be doing some mid-round maintenance to the car. So I'm just going to be doing a full ball check, making sure everything is tight and everything is okay. I want to do the alignment on the car, check that out, make sure it's all good. And I have been working on the rear, so where it took a couple of hits, it's all back to, or pretty much back to normal again. So I cut out the bent bar and made up a new section, and I just have it kind of mostly tack welded into place there now at the moment. So that's all kind of done. Really happy actually with the way it took the hit. It took the hit and everything kind of bent and folded out of the way, but none of the fiberglass really cracked. Bar a small bit there just where the rivet was, but the rivets just popped out there, popped up out of the way, and the bar bent there, so everything is cool. So what I'm going to get on with now is I'm going to get the car jacked up and we'll start getting it in the air and get it on the axle stands, and we'll see. I use a kind of a mixture of stools, so I made these stools much safer than axle stands on their own, especially if you can see the floor. It's not a smooth floor, so I actually had one of my cars, actually with this car, came off the axle stands before me, so I made these stools for the wheels to sit on. That stool there, you can see there's little chocks in it so the wheels can't move forward or back, and it just leaves it that it's much more stable, much steadier. And I just have the axle stands inside there. That's why the wheel is not actually down on the stool at the moment, because I'm going to take this wheel off and check all the nuts and bolts in behind and make sure they're all tight. So to do that, I have a new toy. So this is a Draper Storm Force impact gun. The difference between this impact gun and any of the others I've ever had is this is a plug-in impact gun. So it's got 480 Newton meters, which is insane. I actually used this gun to take off my clutch before round 2, and just the power in it is absolutely nuts. So yeah, that's my new toy. That's what I'm going to take off these wheel nuts with. So it's in here, and that's it. This thing is a beast. I mean, it's crazy. So it comes, it's a 240 volt plug-in job, 6 meters of cable, and it comes with a set of impact sockets as well, all ready to rock and roll. The beauty of this, and the reason that I really like this, is because I don't have to worry about keeping batteries charged. It's just plug in and go. Obviously not much good for the event, but in the garage here it's absolutely fantastic. So I'm going to take these wheels off and start checking some bolts. So, oh, wrong way. Just nuts power, and that's for buttons, like crazy. So in here I can see my drive boot is actually starting to leak a little bit of grease, so I might have a look at that. I'm using on the rear, I'm using the Driftworks, it's actually the Gen 1 Driftworks rear hub, and I've got cable performance arms. So I've got the traction arm in there, the camber and the toe. These things are absolutely awesome. They're 4 years old now, and look at them, they're perfect. A little bit dirty, don't mind that, but absolutely bang on. The bottom, I actually use the standard. I got the standard one, just powder coated, but absolutely perfect. And I'm using the Skyline rear brakes, but everything looks okay. So I'm just going to run around this with a spanner now and make sure everything is good. We have now checked all the bolts in there. So I found that, if I can get in there, that bolt there was loose on the camber arm. That bolt there was loose on the toe arm. One of the bolts loose on the wishbone. And the rest were okay. But it just shows that it's worth checking them out every so often. Because just with the amount of abuse, I suppose, and moving about that these cars get, that the bolts will loosen up. So happy with that side. I'll stick the wheel back on and let's have a look at the other side and see what that's like. Perfect. Okay, so the back of the car all checked out. I did both sides, found another few loose bolts on the driver's side. So just going to go through the front now and just make sure everything is tight in there. And when I've that done, we might go just change the oil, change the filter, and get everything ready for the next round. Okay, with all the bolts tightened, everything is ready to go for alignment once I drop it down off the stools. First of all, I want to get on with changing the engine oil. And I'm also going to change the oil filter, check the fluids, the coolant, the brake fluid, clutch fluid, all that kind of stuff, and just a general check over to make sure everything is good. While I'm under here, I think we could probably do with a bit of a clean. It's absolutely filthy. But I'm going to get on with that. I was down on Saturday in Buttevant at Group D. I dropped down an S15 belonging to a friend of mine to get some work done. So while I was down there, I got the video camera out and just took a look around. So check it out there now while I get on with this. So today I made my way all the way down to Buttevant in Cork to Group D. Group D are supporting me this year with the steering kit and with a lot of pit support and stuff like that. And what I've done is a friend of mine, Dunne, is rebuilding his S15. This is a car we built about 5 years ago, but it never really went further than this. We put a cage in it, did an awful lot of work to it, and it's a really, really nice cage. Very happy with the cage, but unfortunately, it's not made of the correct material. So what that means is we made it out of gun barrel at the time, is what we kind of did with all the cars, and it was fine, but of course with safety restrictions and all that kind of stuff getting more and more stringent and drifting, the gun barrel cage is outlawed. So I don't have a way of bending the CDS, the seamless steel, so we're after bringing this car down to Group D and get all this cage taken out and redone. And at the same time we're getting the guys to tube the front, tube the rear, and hopefully you might see this S15 out in 2019. Fingers crossed. If Don gets his arse in gear, it'll happen. But while I'm down here in Group D, I'll give you a look at some of what else is going on around here. So we have an MX-5 with a rotary engine, NA, making just over 200 brake horsepower, and this thing is nuts. So we've got the 13B NA. You can see some of the Group D fabrication on the front, subframes and bits and pieces. Recently pretty much finished, I believe. Nearly ready to rock, and this is going to be a roll car. The guys were saying that they had to put a... Oh, it's open. They had to put a couple of silencers in it because it was obnoxiously loud. But really, really cool. And of course the DMAC 240, which I showed you in the last video I was down here in Group D. It's come on a hell of a long way now. So they've got most of the rear end all fitted. Tommy was out here getting the rear panel made up. A lot of dimple dyeing, stuff like that on the roof, all down to smoke management. Try and get the smoke out of the rear. This is to get the fuel cell is going in there, and then there's a bar goes across there. You can see the bar is bolted out. A lot of thinking, a lot of planning gone into this car, but really awesome. So we've got the 2J with the big Garrett turbo. This car, of course, left-hand drive. It was the rental car, but I believe Darren is going driving this himself. Certainly for a couple of events, get it shook down and make sure everything is working the way he expects it to work. At the moment, this car is extremely light. What he's doing is he's trying to offset the weight of the JZ and move all the weight back in the car and make the weight as balanced as possible anyway. So that's why like the radiators back here, fuel tanks back here, power steering pumps going back here, all that kind of stuff, all the weight's getting to the back to make the car a lot more balanced. So let's have a look around inside while the boys are talking. So we've got Christie's GT86. We've yet to see it out in competition, really looking forward to seeing that car out. We've got the booter cam. I do have a bit of a graw for the twin cams, but they're just making way too much money. That's pretty cool. Gently tighten.
Blah, 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 blah.
Pretty much.
Blah, blah. Talk more shite, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, it's like looking into a field of thistles.
Is it?
What are you doing with this thing?
Out.
Oh, gone.
Oh, yeah. Still runs, still fine.
What's going in instead of it?
2J.
You really?
2J, 2J.
Oh, nice.
2J.
Take out the, we always say, take out the bullshit, stick in a 2J.
Big turbo.
What, Diffie going running in the back?
I have no idea what he's going to do. I just thought to get out now the bomb because he wants to sell the engine.
Okay. Wants to gather up money.
Sell the engine box first.
Yeah.
They'll give him enough money to get another.
Yeah, because the Subaru Diff's not going to last with that kind of power going into it for a terribly long time.
So, yeah, bring it back then afterwards and
2J.
yeah, start cutting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, make some space.
Yeah.
And this thing hasn't done much since I was here. Oh, it has actually. There's been a little bit of work on it since I was here last.
And you don't make a nice video, no, not about it. We've all the rust buildings that you will.
Yeah, no, there's a little bit done, Harry. It's a bit, how long these feckin' things take is unbelievable, like, you know.
There's some rust in this one.
Yeah.
Sorry to replace on that.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, this, that. Just the list was in this.
Yeah.
But she's ready for top. The top is tacked in the other side actually. The top is bent in a roll.
Very good. Well, you got the rolling machine. Oh, and she's gone fiberglass rear end, obviously.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Nice. Nice.
Well, the arms. Get away.
So this is one of the next upgrades for my car.
You know what?
Oh, yeah. Have I not given you enough yet, no? Have I not given you enough yet, no? You're back. Okay. Hopefully you enjoyed that little bit of a video. Some really cool projects down there. That S15 should be pretty cool if we can get Dunne up and going again. He's been out of the game for a while, so it's going to take him a bit of time to get back into the swing of things, I think. Although he reckons he's coming swinging for pro straight away, but we'll see. That 240, it's going to be awesome. There's a lot of work gone into it, as you can see. Very, very cool. Can't wait to see how that thing goes with D-Mac behind the wheel. And I've been busy, so engine bay looking a hell of a lot fresher. I have a set of plugs gone in there, some oil, filters, all those bits and pieces. So that's all ready to rock and roll. Next week, what I'll be doing, if you want to join me, I will be doing a very quick alignment on this car. So I'll just give you an idea of how to do an alignment at home, using strings, tape measures, and a camber gauge. Camber gauge being the most expensive part of that, but still a camber gauge can be got for relatively cheap, as a bird flies around my shed here. So that's what I'll be doing next week. I also have a little bit of a project coming up where I'm taking a flight across the water to visit a very special place, and I'm really looking forward to that. So join me next week, see what we get up to. Talk to you then. Thanks for watching.